guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Abby and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4, almost 5 this summer, so we are excited about that. And I am overdue for a homeschooling favorites video here on this channel. So if you guys like seeing what we're using and loving in our homeschool lately, some fun finds, then give this video a thumbs up and stay tuned. Okay, so I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna share a few things that we are using and loving in our homeschool. I've got some books, some games, some activities, some apps, some audio book recommendations. So here we go, let's jump right into it. We're gonna go ahead and get started with a couple of things that I don't have physically to show you because they are like apps or things like that. So the first thing is World Watch News. We have been using World Watch News this school year. World Watch News is a subscription, monthly subscription, and you get a 5 to 10 minute current events news story every day. It's got the main story, which you can actually access for free on YouTube, their top story of the day, but then it's got some other fun stuff and interesting news sprinkled in. It's some cute animal facts and funny things going on in the world, as well as more serious news topics. It is done by World News Group, if you're familiar with World Magazine. So it is a Christian worldview. Just want to make sure I clarify that. And it has been a great way to explore current events with our older kids. Now, my younger son sits in with us, but I would definitely recommend starting it in middle school if you don't have a middle schooler yet. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to younger children because they do give you exactly what's going on in the world, just without too much opinion. So we have really enjoyed that this year. It's brought up a lot of great conversations, and there have been some topics that I've waited on them watching until my husband's home from work just so that I can discuss it with Dad, because either I'm unfamiliar or I'm concerned about, you know, them learning about certain things that are happening. But also my older ones, it's been a great age for them to start dipping their toes into just learning about current events, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we love World Watch News. Like I said, the top story is free on their YouTube channel, but the subscription has been worth it in my opinion. The kids love doing that every morning after morning basket. Okay, the next thing I have to tell you about is the 1000 Hours Outside app. So we have tried 1000 Hours Outside for 3 years in a row, and it's gone fairly well, but at some point I stopped tracking it very well. And it's just because we've been doing the paper that you print kind of a thing, and it hasn't worked well for us. So I've always thought like we failed, so to speak, at the 1000 Hours Outdoors, but once I started using the app, which is like super accessible, so I can just easily plug in our hours and it keeps track of it for us, we're so much further than I thought we were this time of year, and we've likely gotten our 1000 hours every year. So 1000 Hours Outdoors or Outside is a great program. She's a wonderful woman and she posts a lot of great content on social media, so make sure you give her a follow whether or not you want to buy the app. But it just challenges you to spend 1000 hours outdoors with your family. And with the app, I think I paid $1.99 for it. I track our hours. They can earn digital badges. The kids always want to know how close they are to their 1000 hours. Right now, it's the middle of April, and we are 3 hours away from 250 hours outdoors, which is great. So like I said, I didn't think that we would have normally been this far because I just do a poor job tracking it on paper. So the app has been welcome in our home. So that is a great app if you guys are outside doing nature study a lot, or the kids just like to be outside, or you have a goal of getting outside more often. That's a great app that you can download, and we have really enjoyed it this year. Okay, another app I want to tell you about is the Canon Plus app. So I have had the Canon app, and I have a membership. I think I pay like $7 a month for certain audiobooks and podcasts and things. But they recently updated, and I didn't use it for a couple of months, so I don't know when the update came out, but because I picked it up again last month and hit the update, I saw that they now have within the app 2 things. They have Cannonball Kids and Logos Press, I don't know how to pronounce that. So Cannonball Kids has a ton of audio series like the Green Ember series by S.D. Smith. They've got Tales of Old Natalia series, Green Ember Archer series, audiobooks like, let's see, Brave Ollie Possum, let's see, Trial and Triumph. So tons of audiobooks, animated storybooks as well. I'm looking at the app right now. They've got classics like The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London, Pilgrim's Progress, Tom Sawyer, and then audio plays as well like Sherlock Holmes, Treasure Island. So, and then in their other feature on this app, they have introductory logic and intermediate logic as well as Kraken Latin, the video courses for that. So I was getting ready to purchase the introductory logic DVD. I think it was $75, and I believe that all the lessons on here are what are on the DVD. So it's all of that is included in the $7 a month that you're paying for the Canon app. So I'm pretty excited about that there's so much on there for the kids as well. And then the last thing that I want to tell you about that I don't have to show you physically is my daughter's science kit. So she has started using Apology of Science this year independently. She's doing like the general science, the typically recommended for grade 7. She's in grade 7. And they wanted her to use it independently for the most part. So this year I bought her the science kit so that she could do as much of it on her own, including the experiments, without me needing to add things to my grocery list while she practices her time management and preparation, because I figured like if she needed like 2 Q-tips and a lemon, like she wouldn't get me that info ahead of time enough, and then it would stall her studies. I always feel like I'm the problem when it comes down to my kids completing their work. So like if there's anything that I need to prepare for them to finish their lesson, I'm like, how can I just buy this so that I don't have to, like, it doesn't all hinge on me. So we bought the Nature's Workshop science kit. It has been such a blessing for us to have. So I'm purchasing next year's already for her right now. It's been so great. So that's a definite favorite, especially as we get toward the end of the year and she's kind of catching up on a couple of lessons that she was behind in. Just having that accessible has been so helpful. So we have loved that science kit, and I actually have a video on it. If you want to see that, I'll link that up here. All right, so a couple of things here. First is this Melissa and Doug Scissor Skills kit. Now, I bought this kit on Prime Day and it's currently not available, but they have other versions of it. It's just not like the mega kit, so I'll link those down below. Whenever my preschooler needs a minute with me, we always try to find an activity to do in between lessons with my other kids, and she loves fun activities, but she wants to be doing school. So she doesn't want to just craft, she wants it to be a school craft. And so we have loved these Scissor Skills kits for her. So for example, today she cut out this little sandwich bag, and the little kit came with these pieces of bread, but then she cut out each individual topping for the sandwich here, and she had a fun little sandwich kit that she made. She's got a hat that she's made. She made an octopus a few weeks ago that she has in her room. That's like a 3D octopus she glued together. So this has been fun, especially she just turned 5 and she's really mastering those scissor skills now. So I really enjoyed that, and I will link the additional variations of this kit down below. It's not the exact kit. I'll link that too in case it comes back. Next, okay, the butterfly garden. This has been such a hit. We have been doing Salamander Room for 5 in a row, and I had gotten this last time that we attempted to do Salamander Room, but we never actually did that unit. And so I had this stashed away, and I was like, okay, it's spring, let's do Salamander Room again. And this was so fun. So I got the kit, and then we went to our local garden center and got some milkweed, and like we have tons of monarchs around here. So within a few days, you know, we had enough monarchs to last us a lifetime. I mean, it's a never-ending cycle. I feel like once you start, now we're buying more milkweed, and then we have more monarchs again, and we buy more milkweed for those ones, and you know, round and round it goes. But the cool thing about this kit is it came with a voucher to buy the cup of caterpillars, and those were for painted lady butterflies, and we had such a blast doing that as well. So I highly recommend these kits, especially if you've never raised butterflies or done the butterfly life cycle with your kids before. It had all the info you needed, and it was really convenient to have that cup of caterpillars. So had we not had milkweed available to us, it would have been really great to have the cup of caterpillars that had everything they needed in it. The kids really enjoyed watching the whole life cycle happen. It was a very exciting day when they hatched. And a funny story, actually. So we had like an electrical issue happen, and so it actually like something caught fire while I was standing in the room, and I put out the fire and I called the fire department because I was home alone. John was working out of town, and I was like, hey, I just need somebody to come and check and make sure there's not like an electrical fire in our wall. Like, I was really concerned. And so the kids, I got the kids out of the house, did the whole shebang. I knew there was nothing really on fire, but I was concerned about like, what if there's like a wire that could catch fire now or whatever. And so the fire department came quickly, but of course they came like full uniform. I mean, they have to, like, there was truly a fire. It just went out quickly, but anyway, they had to come in full gear, lights and sirens, so my kids were really freaked out. And so when they cleared the house and let us come back inside, the kids, they were trying to interact with the kids, but the kids were still really freaked out. Daddy was out of town. I knew they weren't going to be sleeping well that night. So the firefighters were just trying to like speak with my younger ones, and they looked over at the table and they were like, well, your butterflies are safe. And they started talking to them about the butterflies, and the kids just had so much to share about it. So it was a wonderful experience, and it also was a great talking point during an emergency. So we will never forget the butterfly project for many reasons, and no worries, everything is safe now. And then speaking of bugs and butterflies, we have this stamp bug kit. I also have the sea stamp kit and the stamp garden kit. I got these for my kids in their Easter baskets. I knew they would enjoy them, and selfishly I just wanted them because they've been pretty, so they've been on my Amazon wish list. I did not think they would use them as much as they do. So we're a pretty low-tech family, so my kids don't ask that often for technology or to watch a show, but they do ask because we do allow it. And I was honestly shocked at how much they played with this through the evenings, to where they haven't even asked for example, you know, we took their switches away recently because it was causing an issue, and we usually give it back in 24 hours. They haven't even asked for it back, and it's been well over a week. So they really do love these. They love activities like this in the evenings. It was helpful that they each got their own version of the kit, but they've been making cards and stationery and writing letters to friends. And so these kits are super fun and a worthy investment. Speaking of fun, I'll move on to this. So I got this Hoppy Floppy's Happy Hunt hide and seek carrot game for Annie. Now I realize that she's a little old for this. It's ages 3 and up, but it's fun for me to have quick things to play with her during the school day, because she needs a lot of a little bit of attention throughout the day, like little pockets of time all day long. So this one, you just spin the spinner, and then you use this. It's a motor skills game, so you use this to pick up the carrots. You put the carrots in your basket, and that's it. That's the whole point of the game. There's a couple things that make you, you know, let's see, you have to dump your basket out, or you can pick one of any color, or you trade, you know, somebody stole one from your basket kind of a thing. But it's just been a sweet game, and just knowing that I have another little one on the way who will benefit from having the actual motor skills part of the game to use, I went ahead and invested in that. But it's been a sweet game, and we have really enjoyed it. This has been another enjoyable game, albeit not very sweet at all. It's very aggressive, like the way my family plays, but I am shocked. Actually, we were playing it in my last day in the life, so I'll link that up here. This game, I'm terrible at it. My kids are awesome at it, so we get really, really competitive as a family. So this is called Quick Cups. So everybody has a bunch of these little cups, and you have to stack them or arrange them. Be the first one to do it, and you hit this little bell when you arrange it correctly. But you're trying to think fast, and you're hearing everybody else, and it's not as simple as it seems. So there's something like this where you would know that you need to stack the cups in this order, you know, so yellow, black, green. But then there's other ones that are like this, so that's complicated. And this, so it's a tough game. It's one that uses parts of your brain that I don't use very often, and my kids love it. Okay, so piggybacking on the Quick Cups game, I have this Quick Pucks game, where the Quick Cups game is really fast paced and kind of intense for my older ones. I don't let my younger ones play it with us because there's just no way, and there have been tears. So Quick Pucks is similar in the sense of, oh, I'm gonna drop stuff here. There's the bell, you can hear the bell. So it's similar to the Quick Cups game in that you're racing and you're going off of pictures, but you're sliding these little pucks around instead of stacking the cups. And then for that, it's very like two-dimensional because you're just sliding them to match this picture, and you don't have that added layer of trying to figure out, like, is this stacked in front of or behind of? And then there's like an easier version, which is these ones that have one missing puck, and then there's the harder ones like these where you only have one missing puck instead of two. So I will play this with my kids directly, my younger two, to where I'm the one directly playing it with them. I think it's actually like the most fair way versus them playing it with my older kids, because they have a chance of beating me, probably not at beating these older kids. I finally have been reading for the children's sake, and this has been honey to my soul. This has just been a beautiful read for me. I keep it in my purse. It's small and compact, and it's pretty much my karate read. So I read it once or twice a week while I'm sitting at the karate studio. And I just, I don't know, it took me so long to read it, but this has been a beautiful, nourishing book for me to read. Remind myself of some of the reasons that we homeschool, kind of helps me reset my goals, but also just comforts me, that we're on the right track, because it aligns with my desire for home education. Okay, so we're just gonna get into a few more books then. Eli has been obsessed with this Nocturnals, wow, I just knocked myself in the head with it, with this Nocturnals series. So he's finishing the second book right now, which is like The Ominous Eye or something like that. He loves these books. They are, they're full-blown chapter books. There's like 31 chapters or something. If you are familiar with the way that we choose to approach reading, second grade is just a year where I let them like read instead of doing much of a formal reading program. In this grade, just find out what they like to read, and where they start at the beginning of the year with like very beginner chapter books. All of my kids so far have finished their second grade year reading some pretty challenging books for their age. So this is a middle grade fiction chapter series, and it's like a little, mysterious. I hate to use the same word that's on the book, but if you're ever concerned about if something's scary or if something is the right fit for your family, don't just take it from me. Get on Common Sense Media or other book review sites and check that out for yourself. But Eli has really enjoyed this series. There's 4 books in the series, and he actually is familiar with the characters because he read their beginning series, which was like the level 1 or level 2 readers, toward the end of last school year. So this is their middle grade fiction book. Annabeth has loved these Fingerprint activity books. I've purchased these for her for years, and I've done them with her like as keepsakes, but now she really likes doing them on her own. So these are sweet. I'm showing you the bugs one right now. They have garden, they have a bunch of them online. I'll link it down below. So this says light up the fireflies by adding fingerprints to each body. So they add she added little firefly fingerprints on there. This one was create a swarm of grasshoppers. This is a very simple, guide for her to follow. So she was able to do all of these on her own, which is sweet. I love the little smile. So for this one, she started by adding the fingerprints, the 2 fingerprints to create the head and the body, and then she went back with a marker and drew the legs and the face on. Let's see, this one, she put little fingerprint eyes on the spider, and then she created little flies in the spider web. I just realized this is a very bug heavy, like the butterfly thing and then the bug stamps and then her bug book. It's spring. Spring is nature in our house. We do a lot of like nature themed things. So those Fingerprint books are so sweet though, and I love them. Okay, next I have 2 books that have helped my creative writers. My kids love to write, and so I love giving them things that are gonna help them with their writing and their storytelling. So I got each of my kids a copy of this, the Usborne Write Your Own Story word book, and we like the Write Your Own Poems, Write Your Own Comics, Write Your Own Scripts books that Usborne has. So I knew that when I saw this new Write Your Own Story word book that it would be a hit. So this one teaches that, it gives them teaches them how to make their own word bank and gives them a lot of options. So here's an example. It's personality words. Which words would you choose to sum up the characters in your story? Aim to use precise, interesting words like the one shown here. And then it said, think of a character for a story, then choose some personality words to fit that character. So it gives them a chance to practice. Over here, it's like, look at this conversation between a waitress and a customer. What do you think the characters will say when the waitress brings Max's pizza? The words on this page could help. You could just show a dialogue between the waitress and Max, or another customer might join in. So it gives them some starting points, putting yourself in the story. Sometimes the main character in the story is you. How would you introduce yourself to the readers? So this just helps them with adding words and developing their stories. So sandy desert words, we've got busy city words, under the sea words, words for stories, voyage into space, let's see, school stories. So this is a wonderful resource, and like I said, we have 4 of them. We also have this, My Year of Writing. This is also from Usborne Books and More. I didn't plan, or Kane Miller actually, I didn't plan to use this in an actual year, which helps take the pressure off. There's like my year of writing, my year of nature, my year of art, and if it's like 365 things, I just know we're gonna fail by like January 4th. But nevertheless, we have been using this for just all of the individual writing prompts. So 151, you've won a prize for your writing. What will you say in your acceptance speech? Another page is, write a list of books you might find in a dragon's library. Your pet hamster starts talking to you. What does it say? Write something you would love to try if you only had the chance. You're spending a night in a log cabin in a forest. Was it exciting or scary, and why? So it's a bunch of small prompts that just get their little creative juices flowing. So that's a fun resource as well. And then I have 2 more things to share. First, you guys saw this in my Easter basket video. I got my kids the Bible infographics books in their Easter baskets. I had no idea they would be as obsessed with them as they are. It did exactly what I was hoping, which was it inspired them to look a little deeper into different stories. So I wanted to share them with you again. So this one is the book 2. Yeah, volume 2. So this has a specific focus on heroes and villains. So you've got heroes, you've got find the hidden objects. Here's some villains. Let's see, feats of God, failures of men, biblical landmarks. My kids love like infographics type of books. So this has been a hit for them. And like I said, it has opened up tons of conversation for them, and they have carried those with them everywhere. And the last thing that I've been meaning to tell you guys about for a long time are these moonlight stories. Now, I guess I shouldn't call it a homeschool favorite because we don't do it during the day, but life is learning, right? And so I use these with my daughter some evenings, and these are so sweet, such a fun way to connect. So basically, you put this on your phone and you download the app, this little, I don't know what you would call it, but you clip this onto your phone, it connects to where your flashlight is, and then you click through this reel and it displays the image. Instead of like reading a book where it's got the picture on the book, it displays or it projects, it's a projector, that's the word. It projects the image on the wall or on the ceiling, and it's got like music playing on the app as you're reading the story. So this has been a sweet thing for she and I to do together, and they have everything from like the Chicka Chicka Boom Boom book to like these Winnie the Pooh books, and tons of stories. So it's been a sweet option for she and I when it comes to bedtime reading, and I wanted to tell you guys about it because it's just been something we've enjoyed, and I keep forgetting to show you. I've been meaning to show you for like the last 3 homeschooling favorites videos. So those are some of my homeschooling favorites right now, things that my kids and I are both loving and using regularly in our homeschool. If you guys have any things that you are enjoying and want to share, leave those in the comments down below. And as always, I will link all of this down below in the description box. So thank you guys for watching today's video. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. It's super helpful to me, and I will see you soon. Bye guys.